Hi, my name is Ken, a Year 4 NTU DSAI student, and this is a video presentation for my data visualization course. If you are watching this, you are most probably a coursemate who is about the same age as me. Today, with the aid of some exciting visual techniques, I hope that by the end of this video, you will see the importance of early financial planning and be inspired to utilize readily available government data to assist you in planning your own finances. To start, getting married might seem like a long and distant future. However, did you know that based on statistics from the government, 59% of us will be married by age 35? You might be thinking, 35 still seems like a long way to go. Well, 23% of us will be married by age 29. That number is way closer and within the nearer future for me and for most of you as well. Now ladies, you might be thinking, you're still in your early 20s, 29 is still a long way to go. However, you aren't out of the woods yet. Amongst those married by age 29, a larger proportion of these married individuals are females. If at this point you still can't see the relevance of what I'm trying to tell you, let me give you a different perspective. What this 23% means is that within a typical clique of 5 in school, one of you will have a ring around your finger within the next few years. Now, I'm not talking about marriage just to remind some of us how single and lonely we are. With marriage, most of us would think about owning our own homes. This implies that we have to be ready to burn a huge hole in our pocket. Now, exactly how much are we talking about, and why the rush to prepare? I will now take you on a journey to see how I can use government data to assist me in planning my own finances. Let's take a look at this graph crafted from data of past sales of public housing across Singapore. The steep inclination tells us that housing prices are increasing rapidly. Now this price increase isn't like your meal from the coffee shop, increasing from $3 to $4. If we take a look at the axis of the graph, we're talking tens of thousands of dollars. That's enough to buy thousands of plates of food. Now, you should be wondering, how much will houses cost when it's your turn to get one? How am I going to finance that huge sum in the first place? Therefore, there is a need to start planning your finances. But to do that, we need to first have a rough idea of how much we must save. This requires us to delve into the specificities of the house that we desire. Ever wondered what region of Singapore you would like to stay in the future? As we know, location is one of the key factors which influence housing prices. Based on the Choropleth map, we can see the distribution of housing prices across the island. Personally, as a broke uni student and soon-to-be fresh grad, I would most probably be unable to afford the more expensive houses in the central or even the east. Although houses in the north seem to be cheaper, we know that most of them are older flats and hence would most probably avoid them. Personally, I would prefer my future home to be in the northeast region, closer to my parents and grandparents who stay at Punggol and Hougang respectively. The prices of the houses there seem to be in the middle range, comparable to those in the west, and will probably be affordable. Let's take a look. We can see that the town data that they have available are Ang Mo Kio, Hougang, Punggol, Sengkang, and Serangoon. Exploring deeper, we can compare prices between these towns. We notice that as the years progress, housing prices increase gradually, corresponding to the general trend of housing prices as previously discussed. However, we also notice that within the region, prices in Serangoon are consistently highest, while prices in Ang Mo Kio are the lowest. To narrow my choices even further, I will probably avoid Hougang as the flats there are older, and Ang Mo Kio due to the relative proximity to my family. This leaves me with Punggol, Sengkang, and Serangoon. Most of you will know that in Singapore, property is a form of investment. Increasing cost of purchasing the flat also implies an increasing return when you sell the flat. Henceforth, we would want to select a flat that will give us a higher value when we sell. To do this, we take a look at absolute change in value over the years. Comparing the three regions, we see that whilst housing prices in Serangoon saw the greatest spike in 2021, the prices are relatively volatile. Therefore, I would prefer to choose a safer option with a higher return, narrowing my final choice to Sengkang. However, I'm not done yet. After choosing the region and the town, I still have to choose the apartment type. Depending on the conditions of the market, most young adults, like myself, would choose to cash in on our investment within a few years. Therefore, we will want an apartment that is more sought after and easier to let go. Based on the volume of sales as depicted in this stacked bar chart, this narrows down our choices to the 4-room and 5-room flats. Finally, we look at the table of values for the apartment types. Here are the average prices of transactions in the recent years for the 4-room and 5-room flats. I wouldn't be too ambitious about my salary. Subject to future pay expectations, I plan for the more probable option and select the cheaper 4-room flats. Now, this brings the expected amount that I have to save to purchase my own 4-room HDB in Sengkang to a whopping 523,000. I'm not sure about you, but this amount is extremely daunting to me. And this is even before accounting for the rising prices. Hence, we can expect the value to increase even more to perhaps 600,000 by the time I actually purchase my own apartment. Well, what exactly does this mean? Using an extremely optimistic price estimate, the average monthly salary obtained from government data would be around $4,500, with an average spending of about $1,300 a month for cost of living. This brings an optimistic savings amount to $3,200. Without even accounting for all the nitty-gritty details of additional spending which we know would add up, this brings the minimum number of years required to 13.5 years before we can proudly call ourselves a homeowner. If this isn't frightening enough, 16% of our lifespan we spent just trying to pay off this debt. By the time that is done, 50% of our life will have passed. Therefore, to reduce this amount of time and to allow ourselves to lead a better and more comfortable life, we have to start planning our finances early. There are so much more details which can be drilled into to give us a better estimate, such as the specific location, the floor, and the size. Thankfully, such information is readily available on government websites, which you could just as easily use to help get you started. Therefore, I hope that I have successfully convinced you on the need to start planning your financials early. Most importantly, please note that I am not a financial expert or property guru. This presentation was done purely for the project purpose, and please seek a professional for help. Thank you.